This is first time I see that this is happening, and it is really thankful to the Prabhuji for organizing such type of seminars. So actually it should be organized at a large level, because ultimately still, though this act is now almost act was passed in 2008 and rules were passed in 2010, but still there is no that much awareness among the people, among the societies, even among the advocates, I would say, because as we expect here, even government expect that after the provisions, why this act has come in force? Because those provisions were already in the act. Provision of conveyance was already in the act in MOFA Act 1963. Its name is very long. That is the Maharashtra Ownership of Flats, Regulations of the Promotions of Construction, Sale, Management and Transfer Act 1963. So this is very, but in short we say it is a MOFA Act. And that provision was already exist in that act. But still, up to even last year, I will say, very few societies has made the conveyance, or promoters have made the conveyance in the name of the society. Only few societies who have purchased the land and constructed the buildings or bungalows, they were having the conveyance. And very few promoters, developers, builders, they have made the conveyance in the name of the society. Otherwise, almost, I will say 90% societies were not having the conveyance in their name. So, though the society was registered on that plot, people were living there in the flats, they are the owners of the flat. They have the right to sell or everything in the flat. But what about the society? So society was just because title was not in the name of the society. Land and building, it was not in the name of the society, but only those flats were in the name of the, that is, purchasers or members. So ultimately, this act, how to amend this act, this was discussed in so many times, because as I was working in the department since 1983 up to 2013, I saw there were so many times this bill was brought in the house. The private bill was brought. If you, somebody may be knowing that Kirit Somaya brought the private bill for the deemed conveyance. But again, government promised that we will bring our bill, so you withdraw, so you withdraw. So many times it is tried to bring the problem, but it was not passed. After very long discussions, after very long persuasions of the Housing Federation, housing societies, then the government decided to amend this act. And so this bill was passed and it was published in the official gazette on 25th February of 2008. So that provisions come in force from that date. So ultimately, when this provisions comes in force, but still there was a problem again. There were no rules. How to do the conveyance and all these things. So ultimately, again, committee was formed. I was also at the initial stages in the 2-3 meeting. I was a part of that meeting. Mr. Prabhu was also one of the members, some senior officers, and secretary of the housing, secretary of the corporation, and all these things. And these rules, how to amend the rules according to the provisions of the act were discussed. And then the rules were framed in 2010. That is, I think, 27/9. The date is 27/9. Yeah, 27/9, 2010. The rules were amended, and then actual work of the deemed conveyance. So if we think that is whether this deemed conveyance is only related with the MOFA Act, no. There are so many acts which are related with this DIN convenes. First, that is, it is a society. Ultimately, it relates with the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 and rule thereafter 1961. If it is a company, so ultimately, because this provision is also applicable to the company as well as apartments. So, pardon? Leasehold. Yeah. So, discuss that. Okay, let me complete. So, if we see that is a company act, where companies are registered under that act. Maharashtra Ownership of Flat Act, Maharashtra Stamp Duty Act, then Registration Act of 1908, then again the Apartment Act, Maharashtra Ownership Apartment Act 1970, that is also here applicable. So we have to deal with so many acts in this process. That is, though we say that is a MOFA Act, and MOFA Act and convention related to the MOFA Act, but still there are certain provisions. Then Transfer of Property Act, that is also there. So we have to see that these are all acts are involved in this process, because after the DIN convenes, you have to go for registration. So Registration Act applicable. You have to pay stamp duty and all these things. Stamp Act is applicable. Then you have to transfer the property to the Superintendent of Land Records. So ultimately, that Transfer of Property Act is also applicable in this case. So now these are all the provisions which are necessary in the DIN convenes. So I initiated that there was a provision in 1963 Act of a conveyance, and it was obligatory on the part of the promoter to make the conveyance within a specific period, and that period was also mentioned in the rules that time also. But ultimately, builder promoter were after constructing the buildings and after selling the flats, they were not that much interested in that property or like that. Societies were also not interested. They say, okay, now our society is registered, now we are the owners. Most of the people were not knowing that after you were registered society, you are not the owner of the land. But they thought that now we are the owners. So ultimately, what happened? Nobody cares for this. When I was in Vasai in 1989-90, up to 93 I was in Vasai for 4 years. So one case came to me. But those time the powers were not with the registrar or like that. They are very recently given to the registrar. So I suggest them to go to court of law, because ultimately there was no other provision but to go to the court and get the orders. But it was so lengthy procedure, it was a time consuming procedure, so nobody was ready. Societies were not willing to go to the court, because either there were some small societies of 10 members, 15 members, 20 members, they were having some very less funds to fight in the court. Ultimately they have to appoint some advocates and all these things, and so they were not that much willing. So even they need a time to attend the cases and all these things. So nobody was bothered. But still one society came forward and they issued the notices to the developer and they filed a case in the court. And that time, that builder promoter said that now I may be in trouble. So he immediately made the conveyance in the name of the society. Before even the judgment of the court, just by filing the case, the society got the conveyance. But these are the very unique cases, I would say. But most of the societies, they were not much more interested. The issue came up very seriously when most of the societies are going into redevelopment. And that time, this problem arises. What is the ownership? So ultimately, then we thought that this act is passed in 2008 and rules are passed in 2010. So many societies will come forward for dim conveyance. But as after a very persuasion also, very few societies have come forward. I think maybe in some 1,000-2,000 societies have been made the dim conveyance at this today's date. I don't know exactly the figure in Maharashtra, but it was in hundreds in all the districts, I will say, in hundreds. And that is to be in the Thane, Mumbai, Pune, like that. But overall, if you see, that response is very poor. And today also, government has appointed a committee in 2012 under the chairmanship of the collector, and the district deputy registrar was a member secretary. The concerned superintendent of land record was a member. Sub registrar was a member. Then authority, that is a commissioner of a municipality or a corporation, or the CO of the municipality, they were also the members. But there also I saw that though the government has appointed a committee, that time I was in Ratnagiri, but that was my last posting. And I requested the collector, at least call the meeting. We have sent letter to each and every society that you just come forward for the dim conveyance. But still nobody was coming forward. And you know as usual that collector is very busy with so many issues of the district, and he is head of all department all the time. So ultimately he was not having time. He said, okay, though government has instructed, okay, you carry on, and we will see if any problem arises with them only. So there was not that much coordination also at the district level, I will say. Even for the hearing, I called the superintendent of land record, sub registrar, but they were busy in their work, so nobody attended a single hearing in my office. So ultimately I will say, neither from the society side nor from the government side, there was a much more coordination. So Chief Minister himself has write a letter to each and every society. So we send the Chief Minister's letter to every society that you come forward for the dim conveyance, but still the response was very poor. Still we have to go ahead with this, and for that purpose, now we will go to the actually original act. What is the original act? Original act is a very small act. This MOFA Act is a very small act. It contains only 18 sections and 13 rules. Okay, it's a very small act. And under this act, the powers are delegated to the district deputy registrars for dim conveyance under section 5, under section 10, and under section 11. These are the three sections where powers have been delegated. That is, powers are also delegated on 25th February 2011. These powers are delegated by the notification in the official gazette by the housing department, and that is the provision in the section 5. What section 5 says? Section 5 first says that is a promoter. Who is a promoter? In general sense we say that is in housing society registration, the members are the promoters. But in this definition, if you see the definitions in section 2, the definition of promoter is given. Who is a promoter? Promoter is a person or a partnership firm or a company who construct the flats in the buildings or building or buildings on a plot and sell those flats to the purchasers, to the other persons, or he may retain some flats and sell that. This is the definition of a promoter. So promoter, in short, promoter is nothing but a builder developer, you will say. That is it. Definition is given in the section 2. Then definition of a flat is also given in the section 2. What is a flat? The set of premises used for either residence or as an office or as a garage or even as a doctor in the clinic. These are all in the definition of the flat. Flat doesn't mean only that for the residence purpose, it is for so many purposes. So that also you might have seen the definition in the bylaws also. Bylaws also that is given. Then competent authority who is appointed under this act by the government, appointed under this act, is the competent authority. So competent authority is defined, that is, I will go to section 5. What section 5? Section 5 deals with the promoter. Promoter has to maintain a separate account. In section 5, promoter has to maintain a separate account of advances and deposits received from the flat purchases. He has to maintain a separate account received from the flat purchasers as an advance and deposits. What advance and deposits? He takes money for the share capital, for formation of a society or a company. He takes the money to pay the electricity charges. He takes the money to make the expenses for the registration of the society. He takes the money to make the payment to either to the income tax department or a corporation for various dues. So he has to maintain a separate account for this. In section 5, that it is a duty of the promoter to maintain a separate account, and whenever competent authority in writing asks for it, he has to submit the accounts to the competent authority. It is shall, word is used shall. So it is binding on the promoter to submit all the necessary documents to the competent authority whenever he demands in writing. Maybe the society may complain that he has collected 30,000 for the registration, for 50,000 for the electricity charges, but he has not shown where he has spent. So ultimately he has to keep the account and he has to submit the account to the competent authority. This provision previously was not there, now it is, that provision is there. Because people were coming to us, society people were coming to us that he has collected the money and he has not given any explanation. So we say now you go to the court of law and file a case. So nobody was willing to go to the court of law for this purpose. So now it is a mandatory provision in the act itself. So according to this, the 5, it is obligatory on the part of the promoter to maintain a separate account for this purpose. In section 5A, under section 5A, this is also a new insertion in the act, that competent authority will be appointed by the government by a special notification, not below the rank of district deputy registrar of cooperative societies. And one or more officers will be appointed for a particular area. You cannot go and file your case with any officer, any district deputy registrar. But their area of jurisdiction is also mentioned in the order. So that order is also passed on the 2011, where power of delegations have been given to the various district deputy registrars for their respective districts. In Mumbai there are 4 district deputy registrars. That time there were 3. So powers were delegated in that case to the 3 district deputy registrars. Now there are 4 district deputy registrars in Mumbai. Otherwise, mostly there is only one now 2 in Pune. Otherwise, only 1 district deputy registrar in each district. And as well as the joint registrar SEDCO is also included in that order. So these are the authorities declared as a competent authority under section 5A of this. So this is the main provision of the 5 and 5A. Now we will go to section 10 directly. Because section 10, in the section 10, it is again obligatory on the part of the promoter to form a housing society after selling the minimum number of flats as required in the Act, or company or association under the apartment. So, so execution by the declaration. So they have to form the under apartment Act. So either for going this after a specific period, if that specific period is mentioned in the agreement, in that period, or otherwise mentioned in this rules act, that is within a period of 4 months, by selling the flats, that is a minimum required number of flats to the purchasers, the promoter has to register a society. It shall be. It is again obligatory on the part of the promoter to form a society, cooperative society or a company or a declaration in the apartment. So it is the duty. This was previously also, those provisions were there, but nobody was bothered. Rather, many times builders were constructing the flats. There may be some other problems in the builder side also, so they were not registering the society. So even that time also, this provision was there of builder non-cooperation societies. So there was a circular of the department, and we were registering the societies with the concerned registrar, either his assistant registrar or a deputy registrar. So those societies were registered under this provision by the builder non-cooperation. And that time also this provision was, though that was not in MOFA, now it's recently included in MOFA, because now if suppose the promoter doesn't come forward to register a society or a company, so the flat purchasers can come together and they can approach the concerned registrar, competent authority, and make an application that builder is not cooperating. So we want to form a society, and after verifying their authenticity of the document, the registry, that the competent authority will direct the concerned assistant registrar, deputy registrar, DDR, whoever may be in that share, that to register this society. But before giving such directions, again by Act, it is the duty of the competent authority to give a reasonable opportunity of the hearing to the promoter, builder, or who is the concerned person. That is, the opportunity must be given before passing any order, such order. So, in this case, you can go for a builder non-cooperation society, and for that purpose, you have to submit some documents, whatever. There is some that is relaxed. There is some procedure is relaxed here. That is, a society may not have the your CC, OC sometimes, or even they don't have the approved plan also, but they have to obtain the approved plan. They don't have the architect certificate sometimes and all these things, so they can submit the receipt of a corporation and other documents, whatever is the form in four forms, and whatever is the your share certificate, bank balance, and all these things. So this document, by submitting all these documents, whatever documents are available with you, and main stamp duty and registration receipts of all the purchasers who are joining the proposal, they are also mandatory. So registering authority, that is a competent authority, will direct the concerned registrar to register the society. He will register the society, or they can approach the company registrar and get the company registered. Only in case where the declaration, declaration is made under the Apartment Act, then and then only registering authority will not direct to register a society. It will not be lawful. Say it will not be lawful to direct to form a society or a company. Many times I have also gone through some cases. That is what generally builder promoter do. We just take because minimum 5 signatures are required in case of apartment declaration, the apartment condominium, and they just take the signatures. That is, we want to file some documents and all these things, and they just register the condominium. So if that is registered, then members have to realize that no, we want to form a society. They cannot form the society unless and until that is dissolved. Unless and until it is dissolved, the society cannot be formed. Now we come to the last part, that is today's our main topic, that is the deemed conveyance. So again, this section is amended, section 11. It is the relevant section for this deemed conveyance. So promoter, it is the duty of the promoter shall again to make the conveyance within a specific period, either mentioned in the agreement made under section 4 of the MOPA Act, or within a period of 4 months from formation of a company or a society or a condominium. He has to make the conveyance in the name of the land and building, title of the land and building in the name of the society. But if he fails, and he has to inform the concerned registrar within the period of 2 months, that is the provision, competent authority. But if he fails to make the deemed conveyance, then the society or a company or association registered under the Apartment Act, they can file an application with the competent authority with the relevant documents. Act says that containing the copy of the agreement and OC and other relevant documents. That list of the document is also given, what documents you have to submit for the deemed conveyance. And after verifying authenticity, this competent authority, he has to verify whether this document are really authentic or not. So he has to verify and satisfy himself that these are the correct documents, this is the fit case for the deemed conveyance. Then he will register that document in his office. He has to maintain a separate register for this. That is also given in the rules. How to maintain a register in the registrar's office, in the competent authority's office. And after verifying the authenticity, he will give a notice to the concerned parties. And after hearing, giving again the opportunity to being heard to the opponents. Opponents may be one or more, because land may be in somebody's name and that plot may be developed by somebody else. Or even sometimes builder developer constructed a flat and assign it to some other person to sell it. So all this concerned person will be given a hearing, and he will give a notice on his last address, whatever is available with him. And after a hearing and after satisfying himself that is the fifth case for deemed conveyance, he will pass a certificate in favor of the society or in favor of a company or favor of an association, and he will send it to the concerned registering authority for registration of the conveyance. I mean, it is a draft made by the society or a company. He will send along with the certificate to register to the sub-registrar or a concerned registering authority appointed under the Registration Act 1988. And that authority, registering authority, after receiving this application, he will again give the hearing to concerned parties. There is a provision, the section 11, that is registering authority will also give the hearing to the concerned parties, and then after verifying that whether stamp duty is paid, registration duty is paid and all these things, he will, after verifying all these things, he will register the document, and finally it will go to the Superintendent of Land Record or whatever is the authority, revenue authority, and there again they will take the property card, they will take the note that this is now the property of the society. Here again a circular was issued by the Revenue Department that after the competent authority pass and certificate and order and it is a documental register, no further hearing is necessary in this case. So that Revenue Department will not give any hearing. That circular is issued in 2012, somewhere in December 2012, that the circular was issued by this department. So these are the provision of section 5, section 10 and section 11. But in case of dim conveyance, we are rather more interested, that is in the section 11 part. Now there are concerned rules. Again MOFA rules of 1964, and those are amendment in 2010. The date, that is a 27/9 of 2010. These rules were come in force, and there are rule 8 to 13. There are only 13 rules, 1 to 13. But here we are concerned with the rule number 8 to rule number 13. So rule number 8, it deals with the promoter. That is, promoter has to make the period of submission of the application of a registration of the society. It is with the rule 8. So promoter has to submit after selling the required number of flats. In society's case, it is 60%. 60% of total flat if it is sold, then you can go for the builder has to register his society. And he has to make an application within a period of 4 months. Rule 8 says that promoter has to file an application with the concerned authority, either with the registrar of companies, registrar of cooperative societies, within a period of 4 months after selling the required number of flats to the various purchasers. So it is the provision, the only, I told you that in case of that apartment, that condominium is, right, then it is not binding on the builder to submit the proposal for registration of a company or a society. Then again, we go to rule 9. Here again, in rule 9, the period for conveyance. Period for conveyance, if it is mentioned in the agreement registered under section 4, then in that period or within a period of again 4 months from formation of a society, formation of a company or the condominium, he has to make the conveyance in favor of the society. It is again word is shall use, so it is obligatory on the part of the builder to do the conveyance in favor of this association society. So this is the rule 9. This provision is made of the period of the 4 months. Now, Rule 10. Rule 10, I told you in the beginning itself that in the section 5, the accounts has to be maintained by the promoter. Separate account has to be maintained for the deposits and advances. So what are these accounts? How he has to maintain the accounts? That is given. There is a cash book, general ledger, personal ledger, the nominal accounts, receipt and advance of deposits, voucher of expenditure, bank passbook, the register of flat purchasers, register of flat, statement of indicating receipts and disbursement in general, and in statement of indicating receipt and disbursement of individual. So, in this format, he has to maintain a separate account. He has to maintain these registers with him. How many builders are really doing this? I don't know exactly whether anybody is keeping. It's really, we have to congratulate him or have to.
Suppose they do not do it, is there any government office?
I told you in the beginning, because if in writing, if competent authority asks for this, he has to submit these accounts. Otherwise, there is a penal clauses. There is a heavy penalty. If you see in section 13, if you go through, it is not our today's discussion, but penalties are there in section 13, and it is a heavy penalty. That is a imprisonment up to somewhere in 2 years, somewhere in the 5 years, and even up to 10,000. That provision is there under section 13. If you violate the provisions of section 5, 10 and 11, then ultimately case will go to the magistrate, that is to the court of law again, and this penalties are, even very heavy penalties are there, but you will have to go to the court of law for that purpose. It is not automatic, and you cannot go to the competent authority for this purpose. Initially it was recommended that this provision should be with the competent authority, but ultimately after looking all the aspects, they have been proposed. So these are the register he has to maintain there, and if you complain to the competent authority can call this under section 5, can call all the register. He has to ask the explanation. How much money he has collected, how he has spent, whether he has spent, for what purpose he has collected. That is also binding. If he is collected for the electricity bill purposes, he has to pay for only electricity bill. He has collected for the share capital, amount of share capital he has to use for share capital. Actually, at the balance amount, he has to refund to the concerned purchaser, that purchaser. But nobody pays, nobody bothers, even we don't ask. Nobody asks. That is, yes, we have given you the 50,000 rupees. Now you have spent only 20, give you back 30,000. No, nobody goes for it. So ultimately, this is the provision. But still, I have not seen any case law. Probably might be knowing any case law is there. Is there any case law?
There are hardly 100 rupees is the penalty levied for not keeping all this. So there is a case law where the builder was levied a penalty of only 100 rupees for not maintaining all this. So I think people are not that keen in going all this.
Now the important, the again rule is rule 11 in this case, particularly for the section 10 and 11. That is the rule. Now the procedure is given in the rule 11, 12 and 13, that how to deal with the application, with the deemed conveyance. That is it. Application which is the prescribed, already prescribed in the rule itself. For section 10, for formation of a society, builder non-cooperation society, and for the deemed conveyance. Both are forms have been framed in the rule itself. The copy is there in the rule, you can go through it. And you have to affix the 1000 rupee code fee stamp for the registration of society and rupees 2000 code fee stamp for the deemed conveyance proposal. And along with the application, you have to submit all the documents. So, when a person or a society or a company, they go for this deemed conveyance, they have to submit a application in a format along with the relevant documents, either through person, either in person by the either society chairman, society secretary, or any authorized officer, or through advocate. Everybody is allowed, advocate is allowed, either any authorized person is allowed. Only thing that the society has to make a resolution in that effect, that we are authorizing so and so, because ultimately all are honorary persons in society's office bearers, so they don't have time. So generally they appoint some either authorized person or sometimes some advocates to get the work done. So through advocate or through authorized person, they have to file an application along with the relevant document to the concerned registrar, concerned competent authority. And after verifying the authenticity, say, that he will put the date and registered the document in his register, office register, which is maintained under this rules again. The format is given in the rules, that is how to maintain a register in registrar's office. So he will register. Then he will give hearing, he will give notice to the concerned parties. Either one is the, I say that promoter, he may be the builder, developer, plus landowner, whatever the case may be, and the society person. He will fix a date. How to give a notice, that is also prescribed. Give the notice in a format, that is also prescribed. How to registrar should give the notice. After giving the notice, he will fix the hearing in his office. The rule itself says that the hearing should be conducted in the office of a competent authority, not anywhere. That is, the Prabhuji said, now you conduct here, so we cannot conduct here. That competent authority has to conduct in his office and in office hours only, not on Sunday, not on holidays. It is mentioned in the rule itself. That is, that hearing will not be take place on any holidays or Sundays, but only on a working day of a competent authority in his office. So he will call the concerned parties. So builder promoter will be given a reasonable opportunity to put his case. Ultimately, there may be some problems on his side also, because there may be some dispute among the partners. There may be some litigation going in the court of law, some high court, some supreme court may be there. So he may represent his case there. If he fails to submit his reply or submit his submissions, the competent authority can go ahead without giving the further. But even if he submits, then he can consider that, and whatever is again give the opportunity to the society or a company to say to give their say on their opponent's file. So ultimately, after hearing both the sides, he will come to the conclusion. If he is satisfied that this is a fit case or deemed conveyance, then he will issue a certificate along with order. And he will send it to the sub-registrar or any registering authority which is authorized under the Registration Act. And again, I told you that that authority will also give hearing to the parties, and we will register the document. Whatever, if we see what are the, there are also some circulars in this case. We are going to discuss this. We are discussing. Okay, is discussing those circulars also in the afternoon. There are 2-3 circulars issued by the Revenue Department. That is how to take the cognizance of all these documents, and how should we charge stamp duty and registration. It is there. And because there was one problem, that is unsold flats, the stamp duty and registration was not paid. What to do about this? Builder will not pay stamp duty because he has not purchased, so he will not pay. But he can sell in future those flats. So ultimately there is also one circular which say that if unsold flats are there, so ultimately he will be a member, promoter will be a member, but he will pay in future stamp duty and registration. So for that purpose, again, that issue is solved here. So these are the rules. And finally, you have to go to the concerned Supreme Tribunal Land Record and get your property card, name transfer in the property card and all these things. So this way, this is the provisions, this Act and the rules. It is amended. It should go to the more and more people, more and more societies, and they should come forward, because still the response is very poor. 5%. Only 5%. Yeah. That is in hundreds only, not in thousands also. So we have, I think almost maybe 80.
4 years are over.
No. Societies maybe around 60,000, 80,000, 90,000 societies are there in Maharashtra, and the conveyance is met. It's very less. That is where society has purchased a land. There is only the conveyance is done. Otherwise, in where builder developer has constructed the flats and form a society, there is very less percentage of the conveyance. So on this ground, I thank Mr. Prabhuji for calling me here, giving an opportunity to have a conversation with you. And again, thank you all you for hearing me patiently here.